I think the major point about this particular piece of legislation is that it is blanketing the entire nation and touches many different regions in a way that may be good, may be bad, we just don't know. And I would much prefer to see legislation come before us that is site-specific or region-specific. Obviously, the Grand Staircase Escalante has been controversial. I know it was when I was the deputy at the Department of Interior working with Mr. Babbitt on it. And it remains so today, listening to the chairman of this committee. If there are specific things that need to be done there, that should be brought to us in a piece of legislation, and we should deal with it. And with regard to the way in which we manage the forests, there really is a funding problem. I'm very familiar with the forests in the West, particularly in California, and there's a serious problem of funding the necessary studies to go forward to deal with the harvesting of burned timber, as well as the harvesting of timber in any particular national forest. The personnel are simply not there, and I would call to the attention of Mr. McClintock and others that are concerned about it, as am I, that if we want to move forward with harvesting burned timber, we need to do it in a way that follows the law, and that requires personnel. And so efforts that have been made, and this is most recently in the bills that we've seen on the floor in the last month and a half to 2 months, those pieces of legislation reduce the funding for the Forest Service. And hence we should not be surprised when forest harvest plans are not expeditiously handled. With that, a question to a representative from Utah, Mr. Knoll. You said in your testimony that one of the problems you have is trying to deal with the 3 million visitors that come through your area. Are they just passing through? Are they stopping? Are they buying soda pop and wine and beer or whatever else?
Most of them go to the Lake Powell area in Arizona. Unfortunately, even though most of the lakes in Utah, all the concessions are in Arizona, so they get all the benefits of that. But they do come through, and we do have tourism. There's no question about it. They do come through our area, and we benefit from that. Again, those monies do not accrue to the school kids like property taxes would.
Well, that would be an issue for you as a state representative to make a modification so that those might actually go to the school kids.
Well, when you have 2/3 of your state, Mr. Congressman, in federal land ownership, any of these designations has an impact, and we do a pretty good job in Utah to educate our kids, and we do have a balanced budget.
Well, I'm pleased to see that that's the case, but the issue that you raised was the sales tax revenue not available for the school kids, and that is something you could deal with as a representative.
It is available to the school kids, but not like property taxes. It's a three-pronged approach to how we educate our kids, and property taxes is a huge part of that. So
my point is
we do need that.
Would the gentleman yield for just a moment? Would the gentleman yield to that point?
If I get an extra 30 seconds, of course. Shall we negotiate?
Hey, just keep talking. I won't gavel you down anyway. I think what Mr. Noel is trying to sell to you very quickly is in Utah, all income tax is dedicated for schools. Property tax, the majority, is dedicated for schools. Sales tax is not dedicated for schools, but the state legislature, when it fills the coffers, uses sales tax money. So it does do that. They are using that approach to it.
That's my point, is that there are options available with regard, and tourism is a very, very important part of it. One of the things that the Grand Staircase Escalante provides for the future is an extraordinary portion of American land, public lands, that are available forevermore in the future in their natural state. I understand that there are individual problems. There were in the 90s when we were working with this, that there are certain parcels of land that for one reason or another preclude development on adjacent land. Those need to be worked out in a specific piece of legislation that deals with the controversies and the opportunities that are present. Again, this particular piece of legislation is a blanket on and covers all of America, where the roadless issues and where the wilderness study areas are existing. And my point is that it's much wiser for us to take these things in a regional arena rather than coming in and taking all of it in one fell swoop. And that's my last comment after 4 times round.